Hills of Mokola in Ibadan. All right, today the second day, the month of August 2024. How you doing? Trust you're good. My name is Oluwataya Ajewole, and I'm reporting for duty this morning on the show. Yeah, you know, we do it on the show. We bring you the newspapers and we review some of the headlines that made it through to the Nigerian dailies, and then you also get to be a part of the program when the time comes. We'll open the phone lines for you to join the conversation. Here you join the conversation. You hear your views and your opinions as regards what some of these national dailies are talking about this morning. So, without much ado, we'll be going straight to the headlines. But then, before then, let me wish you a happy weekend this morning. Trust your weekend is starting on a good note, or probably let me ask you again, a good morning to you, and then trust your day is starting on a good note. Many were at home yesterday, many didn't go to work, but then just hope that it will get better today. Probably you're preparing for work or whatever things you are doing. Just make sure you stay locked to this dial, omoluwabi at 7.7 FM, at the station that brings you the best in news talk. And of course, music. We are the voice of integrity. Yeah, you can count on us anytime, any day. We are here to deliver. All right, without much ado, like I said, let's go straight to some of the headlines that made it through to the Nigerian dailies this morning. This morning, I've got 4 newspapers with me this morning. I've got the Nation newspaper, I've got the Guardian newspaper, Vanguard, and of course, I've got the Punch newspaper with me this morning. All right, let's check the headlines first before we go into the review of some of the headlines that we have this morning. All right, let me start with the Punch newspaper this lovely Friday morning. Saying hunger crisis, 17 feared killed as firms. Others count huge losses. That's the banner headline of the Punch newspaper this morning. And the story has a rider that says 10 killed in Niger, Borno, 7 in Kano. Others, FG complex looted. Okay, APC secretariat raised. And this one saying OPS count losses as banks, ports, offices shuts, and as bank ports, offices shuts. Federal government begs protesters. NBA offers free legal services. Can get full details of all of those stories on pages 2 and 12 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And then we have this one saying Dangote refinery to go up 1.7 trillion crude monthly. Dangote refinery to go up 1.7 trillion crude monthly reports. That story is on page 21 of the Punch newspaper this morning. AFDB okays $800 million fresh loan for Nigeria. AFDB okays $800 million fresh loan. $800 million fresh loan for Nigeria. You can get full details of that on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And we have this one saying Ribado's men abduct Punch photographer, steal camera, belongings. That story is on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. Ribado's men abduct Punch photographer, steal camera, belongings. That story is on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning. With this one also on the front page of the Punch newspaper saying 30 million GSM lines not properly linked to NIN. 30 million GSM lines not properly linked to NIN. Telcos. That story is on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And then we have this one still from the Punch newspaper saying FCE Governing Council removes provost, appoints replacement. FCE Governing Council removes provost, appoints replacement. I can get full details of that story on page 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And still from the Punch newspaper, let's check this out. House help admits killing Justice Ajumogobia's daughter. House help admits killing Justice Ajumogobia's daughter. Police source. I can get full details of that story on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And still from the Punch newspaper, we have this one saying police arrest 6, exhumed body of Ekiti Varsity ex-DVC. Police arrest 6, exhumed body of Ekiti Varsity ex-DVC. You can get full details of that on page 4 of the Punch newspaper this morning. All right, and that's all we have from the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's check out the Guardian this morning. With this one written boldly as banner headline on the front page of the Guardian newspaper saying concerns as protests turn violence in North. Government imposes curfew. Okay. Concerns as protests turn violence in North. Government imposes curfew. And that's this story is on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Still from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Cost of LD diet rises by 45% in 6 months. Cost of LD diet rises by 45% in 6 months. You can get full details of that story on page 10 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then we have this one saying 8 die in Jigawa, Niger, as protesters raise APC secretariat. 8 die in Jigawa, Niger, as protesters raise APC secretariat. You can get full details of that story on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. That House of Reps salary cuts amid public discontent. That House of Reps salary cuts amid public discontent. Okay, that's an editorial then on page 12 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Review harsh economic policies, address Nigerians. PDP tells Tinubu. Review harsh economic policies, address Nigerians. PDP tells Tinubu. Can get full details of that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. CPPE calls for suspension of protests as stock markets sheds 235 billion naira. CPPE calls for suspension of protests as stock market sheds 235 billion naira. Can get full details of that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then we have this one saying Nigerians accuse NCC telcos of internet blockage. Nigerians accuse NCC telcos of internet blockage. Blockade rather. I can get full details of that story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. All right, and that's all. Okay, let's see this about this one saying Ondo Ekiti residents shun protests, low turnout in Ogun. Ondo Ekiti residents shun protests, low turnout in Ogun. Can get full details of that story on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper this morning, and that's all we have from the Guardian newspaper this lovely Friday morning. All right, let's check some other newspaper this morning. I still got the Nation and the Vanguard newspaper we made this morning. Let's check out what the Vanguard is reporting this morning. With the front page of the Guardian newspaper reporting saying that protests 14 killed as Yobe, Kano, Borno declare curfew. That's banner headline there on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Protests 14 killed as Yobe, Kano, Borno declare curfew. And the story has a lot of rider here. One of which is 6 protesters dies in Suleja, Niger State. 14 killed in filling station in Maiduguri, and then this one saying protest turns violent in Kaduna, and 3 killed, many injured. Police accuse Shiites of hijacking protest, and then this one saying a businessman killed in Kebbi, and Kano. This one saying Kano Yobe declare curfew. Military takes over Abuja Kubwa Highway as protesters go violent, extort motorists, others, and then for this one saying protesters lists 15-point demand to stop agitation. We are ready for dialogue. FCT Minister Wike. Tinubu Wike meets in Aso Rock. That story, you can check everything there on page 15 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And still from the Vanguard newspaper, this one saying protests, commercial activities halted as pro-anti-government groups clash in Lagos. Protests, commercial activities halted as pro and anti-government groups clash in Lagos. Can get full details of that story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we have this one saying NBA set up free legal help decks for protesters. Okay, NBA set up free legal help decks for protesters. You can get full details of that story on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. LPPC elevates Ubani Unduka Professor K 84 orders as to SAN rank. LPPC elevates Ubani Unduka Professor OK 84 orders to SAN rank. You can get full details of that story on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And this still from the Vanguard newspaper, we have this one talking about the AFDP. AFDP approving loans. Okay, AFDP approves $500 million loan to Nigeria's energy transition program. AFDB approves $500 million loan for Nigeria's energy transition program. Can get full details of that story on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we have this one still from the Vanguard newspaper saying security agencies uncover senator sponsoring Abuja protesters. Wiki. Security agencies uncover senator sponsoring Abuja protesters. Wiki. Can get full details of that story on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Okay, and then you can see a lot of pictures of protesters on the march yesterday on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. See various pictures and various inscriptions in their hands. And yesterday, I can see the pictures here on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. All right, and that's all we have from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let's check out what some other stories are from the Nation newspaper this morning. With this one written boldly as as a banner headline rather. The banner headline here on the front page of the Nation newspaper saying peaceful protests in Lagos, Rivers, Plateau, Oyo, Osun. Peaceful protests in Lagos, Rivers, Plateau, Oyo, Osun. And the rider here that says coffee in Kano, Borno, Yobe. 11 killed in 4 states. No protests in Ekiti, Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, Kwara, Kogi, Kebbi, Akwa Ibom, Benue, Ondo. Police disperse demonstrators in Abuja. And other stories on, I can get full details of all of those stories on pages 2, 3, 4, 5, and 29 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Okay, we have this one saying economy suffers multi-billion naira losses today of protests. Economy suffers multi-billion naira losses today of protest, and then it starts right that says experts raise the alarm over business paralysis. Can get full details of that story on page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Still from the Nation newspaper this morning, this one saying African Central Bank chiefs in Abuja to chart way forward. African Central Bank chiefs in Abuja to chart way forward. Can get full details of that story on page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Olujimi's son, Ubani, 85 others become SCN. Olujimi's son, Ubani, 85 others becomes SANs. Can get full details of that story on page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And then we have this inside the Nation newspaper saying looting in Kano, Edo, Gombe, violence in Kano, Gombe, Borno, Niger, Jigawa, Tinubu Wike meets. Police station raised in Abuja, APC secretariat burnt in Duse. Police won't tolerate anarchy, says IG. Sanwo-Olu calls for normalcy. I can get hold of this story by getting a copy of the Nation newspaper and checking inside the Nation newspaper this morning. Okay, still from the Nation newspaper, this one saying cholera vaccines to be delivered this month, says Health Minister. Cholera vaccines to be delivered this month, says Health Minister. Can get full details of that story on page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning. And then inside the Nation newspaper, we have this quote here from Sultan Abubakar. Sultan Abubakar, something to say this morning, and saying, in the name of Allah, the Most High, we are calling for an end to the snowball rampaging in the name of the protests. We should all understand that there must be a stable country. There must be a stable country called Nigeria before we can proudly call ourselves Nigerian. That's coming from the Sultan there, Sultan Abubakar, speaking, urging Nigerians to be peaceful and calm at this point in time. All right, and that's all we have from the Nation newspaper this morning. Of course, and that's all we have from the headlines also this morning. We'll be going on a very short commercial break now. When we return, our news lens will continue right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We'll be back after this short timeout. Stay glued to your radio set.
The voice of integrity, omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, made with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger-grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Break time is crunch time. So give your chance this delicious crunchy delight to keep them winning all day. Milo and a snack of future champions. Milo!
Hello?
Hello there. I'm at the hospital right now because the kills are seriously ill. I've been on a long queue and the doctor is here to attend to me. I don't know what to do again.
You know what? How about the numbers I gave you while leaving?
Oh, the e-Dokita numbers?
Yes.
Call them right away. They will attend to you immediately.
Hello?
Darling, just like magic. Junior is playing. Even Princess is eating like an adult.
You know I've told you to calm down. Our family is covered with e-Dokita Premium Plan. With eDokita, you have access to healthcare at your fingertips. Stop wasting your productive hours while waiting in the clinic for doctor. Subscribe today to any of eDokita plans and enjoy online chat and call consult, laser therapy, medical outreach, and home care services. Simply dial 0704-714-2000 or 0701-000-8670. Log on to www.edokita.com or visit us at eDokita, number 2 Ocean Street, New Bodija, Ibadan. eDokita, inspiring wellness.
To the people of Nigeria, we must protect our country. We must say protest not in my state. We must adopt a peaceful and dialogue-driven approach in our pursuit of change. Clearly, we must articulate our demands and be willing to listen to others. Engage in open and constructive conversations with the government. Many of us are weary of the agenda of the promoters of the planned protest. To protest is a process that ends in dialogue. But the peaceful protest is not guaranteed. Let us start with dialogue, not protest. We must find a rally point, create a podium, and take turns to air our views without exposing innocent citizens to danger. Remember that harming ordinary citizens who may not share our vision is not acceptable. Instead, we must work towards winning their endorsement. We cannot destroy what we have to demand for what we do not have. This government is addressing the issues, and we want to be part of finding solutions. We want rice, not cries, food, not boots. We want dialogue, not protest. We must protect Nigeria.
My Sabi people, how una dey? Na Sabi people dey listen to Sabi Radio. Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM, na dem be Sabi Radio.
Alright, you're welcome back. It's still News Lens right here on omoluwabi, the 7.7 FM. And right about now, we're going straight into the analysis of some of the stories that we have this morning. But before then, let me quickly inform you that we are streaming live on Facebook this morning. We are streaming live on Facebook at omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We are streaming live on Facebook. You can go to our Facebook page and then drop your comments as regards some of the things we'll be discussing on the show this morning. Do not forget, when the time comes to, we open the phone lines for you to join the conversation this morning. You get to hear your opinions and thoughts as regards some of the things we'll be discussing on the show this morning. All right, without much ado, I've got with me in the studio this morning, Comrade Amoju. Good morning, Comrade.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, let's check out some of the headlines that made it through to the Nigerian dailies this morning, and then let's just review some of these headlines. Comrade, before we go on, some of the major headlines, major newspapers report this morning as regards the protest on violence yesterday, and we've always been warning that people should not allow this protest on violence or some set of people to hijack this protest from them. But then it's so sad yesterday that we have to lose some lives and properties due to this protests yesterday. But then we want to believe that security operatives are at the top of their game at this hour. All right, let's check some of the headlines as regards the protest yesterday. Saying hunger protests, 16 fear killed as firms, others count huge losses. And then this one saying 10 killed in Niger, Borno, 7 in Kano, others. Federal government complex looted. Okay, APC secretariat raised. And then this one says OPS counts losses as banks, ports, offices shut. FG begs protesters, NBA offers free legal services. That story, you can get it on pages 2 and 12 over the Punch newspaper this morning. The Vanguard also reports the same story is in concerns as protest on violence in North. Governors impose curfews. You can get that story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper too this morning. And then this one is saying from the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have this one saying protests, 14 killed as Yobe, Kano, Borno declare curfew. And then you have the riders here saying 6 protesters die in Suleja, Niger State. 4 killed in filling station in Maiduguri, and this one saying protest turns violence in Kaduna. 3 killed, many injured. Police accuses Shiites of hijacking protest. Businessman killed in Kebbi. Kano, Yobe declare curfew. And this one saying military takes over Abuja Kubwa Highway as protesters go violent. Extort motorists, others. And this one saying protesters list 15 points demand to stop agitation. And then saying this one, saying we are ready for dialogue. That's coming from the FCT minister, Yusam Wike there speaking. And then this one saying Tinubu Wike mates in Aso Rock. A lot of that, all of that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And then we have this one saying peaceful protest in Lagos, Rivers, Plateau, Oyo, Osun. Peaceful protest in Lagos, Rivers, Plateau, Oyo, Osun. And then this one saying curfew in Kano, Borno, Yobe. 11 killed in 4 states. Though no protest in Ekiti, Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, Kwara, and then Kogi, Kebbi, Akwa Ibom, Benue, Ondo. There were no protests in those states. And yesterday, police dispersed demonstrators in Abuja. Can get all of the stories on pages 2, 3, 4, 5, and 29 of The Nation newspaper this morning. All right, come with the protest on violence yesterday. Just so sad that we have to lose lives and properties again yesterday. Some set of people are saying some certain elements were the ones who hijacked the protest up north. They're saying that, as a matter of fact, they are pointing fingers to the Shiite movements. What's your take on this, Komido Moju?
Let me first start with the record of the peaceful protest that occurred. Kudos to states where they were able to manage the protest and without any issue. It shows that those ones truly know what they want, and they put what they want on the table, and they focused on exactly what they are demanding for, and they've been able to manage it. And I pray that they are able to get results for their demand. But the ones that turned violent yesterday, I still don't understand the rationale behind the violence. If truly is hunger protest, hardship protest, which all of us are in together. Now, who are you now, struggling with? Is it your own colleagues on the street, your, contemporaries that you are struggling together, that you are now inflicting more pains on? So, I really don't understand the reason for, sudden violence that erupted in some of these places around the north, except if, like had been, projected, some group of people just use this as opportunity, to spark up that which they had in mind to do earlier. Because I don't think that if we are saying we are hungry, we are saying there is hardship in the land, the next thing is to now, enter your colleagues' shops, warehouses, and begin to, to loot. So it's totally uncalled for. And I just want to believe that the authorities in that region will be able to manage the situation, to, douse tension in that area. It's hardship, hunger protest. We are not in war. So I expect the security operatives in that region to be up and doing. I learned there's a curfew.
Yeah, curfew has been declared in some parts of the north.
I think that's a welcome development.
Yeah, coming to Moju, you're talking about security operatives coming on board. Is it always about the security operatives? As can't we, as Nigerians, behave civil in this kind of protest? Is it must it go violent? Must it get to the level where we start looting, destroying government properties, and then at the end of the day, it's going to be loose for the masses? Because at the end of the day, the government will tell you you've destroyed our government properties and we have to rebuild them with the money that we are claiming is not on ground.
And that's what I'm saying, that I don't understand the dimension that this one took yesterday. The protests only started yesterday, and we're already, recording some losses. It's uncalled for. We are saying we are hungry. We are not saying you should, pick up arms and begin to inflict pains on your fellow citizens. No, it's absurd. So it's totally, unreasonable. I don't know what probably led to that, disorder and anarchy over there yesterday. Right there in Ibadan, they comported themselves. Even at some point, some will tell you, "Oh, we are here. If you know you have another motive, don't come near us." And the police were, gradually, following them. They were in strategic places, watching. So why, except for maybe they have another motive other than the active protest. So it's unreasonable, it's uncalled for, and the reason why we have the law enforcement agencies is that in situations like this, they should be up and doing. Even though it's most unfortunate that some group of people have allowed this to get to this point, but it's now up to the security operatives to do the needful in that region. And one of such is that curfew has been declared.
Curfew has been declared in some certain parts of the country, especially in the north this morning. Okay, we just hope that things won't get worse as the days go by. Some set of people are speaking. The governor, the FCT minister is speaking and is saying, see, we are open to dialogue. And as a matter of fact, he met with the president yesterday evening, but the conversation they had yesterday wasn't revealed to pressmen yesterday. But then, Mr. Ayeson Wike, he met with the president yesterday, and he said something yesterday saying, we are open to dialogue. Stop protest for now. Before now, Wike has come out to say, no protest in Abuja, just and this. We'll make sure we do not allow you to protest. But then, protesters came out yesterday and they protested in Abuja. And in fact, they had a procession yesterday in Abuja. But then Wike had to come down and say, okay, do you know what? We are ready for dialogue. Coming to module, government is ready for dialogue. Should protesters go back?
Now, let me say this. Back in the day, during the Arab Spring, when it started in Tunisia, snowballed into Egypt, and right in Egypt, I remember Gaddafi was saying, you dare not come here. You dare not start this here. And it started. Fine. When in his prowess, in his military might, he said, kill the cockroaches. Kill the cockroaches. Telling his subject, whoever they see on the street, they should do this, they should do that. No. We are talking about angry and hungry man here who are determined. Kill us to the point that you want to kill us. You can't kill all of us. The same person that was saying cockroach now became, the victim later. What am I trying to say with this? You can't subvert the will of the people for too long. You may have been doing it, but get to a point where people feel enough is enough. Some of these utterances that are coming out of people like that, the FCT minister, the Senate president, making some careless, these are very sensitive moments in the country that you need to assuage the anger, pacify people, cool their nerves down, not making inflammatory statement of don't come here as if you are the one that actually built that edifice. It's built, whatever you are minister over is as a result of taxpayers' money, our collective patrimony. So you cannot just say, oh, you don't come here, you don't. There's a way you talk to angry and hungry people.
Okay, Maju, let me get this quickly. According to the FCT minister, he came on board yesterday and said we are ready for dialogue. FCT minister, and then he's saying the story is from the Vanguard newspaper saying reacting to the protests in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, FCT minister Nyesom Wike again called on those protesting against President Bola Tinubu's government to come for dialogue, saying the government was ready to listen to them and also walk them through some governance issues they might not have been privy to. He spoke while presenting staff of office to the newly appointed graded chiefs of Karu, Kwali, Pai and Yaba in the territory. Commending protesters in FCT for being not non-violent, Wike urged them to continue to resist those who would want to destroy the nation. Okay, Wike finally said, "Do you know what? We are ready. Just come and dialogue with us."
Tayo, at least this campaign about likely protests, which started yesterday, have been on for like 2-3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken here. We are likely to protest. And we were saying it here, that federal government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should consider himself lucky that there is a filler, there is intelligence coming from that quarters that we would do this. So I'd expected that all avenues of dialogue should have been explored before you allow the protest to actually kick off. So somebody was boasting earlier on that, oh, don't do this here, don't do that here, and people dared him and they still came out. Now you are now telling them to come for dialogue. Where did you put that earlier on?
All right, coming about you. The protesters are now they have a 15-point demand, as reported by the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And I'll be taking some of the demands by the protesters this morning. It's saying, number one, scrap the 1999 constitution and replace it with a complete-made constitution. Replace it with a people-made constitution, rather, for the Federal Republic of Nigeria through a sovereign national conference. And the second two is, towards the Senate arm of the Nigerian legislative system, keep the House of Representatives and make lawmaking a part-time endeavor. Pay Nigerian workers a minimum wage of nothing less than 250,000 naira monthly. Invest heavily in education and give Nigerian students grants and not loans. Aggressively pursue free and compulsory education for children across Nigeria. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and demilitarize the southeast. All NSAS and political detainees must also be released and should be compensated. And this one saying, renationalize all public-owned enterprise sold to government officials and cronies. And we have this one saying, reinstate a corruption-free subsidy regime to reduce hunger, starvation, and multidimensional poverty. This one says, probe past and present Nigerian leaders who have looted the treasury, recovered their loot, and deposited it in a special account to fund education, healthcare, and infrastructure. And we have this one saying, restructuring of Nigeria to accommodate Nigerians' diversity, resource control, decentralization, and regional development. This one saying, end banditry, terrorism, and violent crimes. Reforms of security agencies to stop continuous human rights violation and duplication of security agencies and enhance the physical security of Nigerian citizens. And lastly, they say that, and it still continues, it says establish a special energy fund immediately to drive massive corruption, free power sector development. You have this one saying immediate reconstitution of the Nigerian electoral body, INEC, to remove corrupt individuals and partisan-backed appointments to manipulate elections. Massive investment in public works and industrialization will help employ Nigeria's steaming youth. Massive shake-up of the Nigerian judiciary to remove cabals of corrupt generations of judges and judicial officers and continue denying everyday citizens across the real justice. Okay, coming to Moju, you listen to some of these points demand that these protesters are asking for. Do you think some of them are realistic as a speaker? I know you think some of them are not something you can just do all of a sudden. They are long-term projects.
Well, I don't know where this is actually coming from.
According to the Vanguard newspaper this morning,
I don't
saying
know the authenticity of this group. Bringing.
No, we have various groups at this point. So one of
such groups, rolled out these. So no, fantastic. But the issue of paying 250,000, I think that one is a non-issue, given the circumstances that we find ourselves. Then I don't think they should be the one to be talking about Nnamdi Kanu.
Not just in Nnamdi Kanu. We talk about victims of the NSAS and all those.
No, I think they talked about the zone separately, and they now talked about political those who were
He said release Mazin Amdekanu unconditionally
exactly
and demilitarize the southeast.
exactly.
All
So-
NSAS and political detainees must also be released and should be compensated.
Exactly. So I don't know why they are bringing issue of Nnamdi Kanu into this. Let's focus on national issues.
Is
Not-
the issue of Nnamdi Kanu not a national issue?
It's not national.
How?
It's a regional issue.
The regional issue affecting our national day-to-day life.
In most, it affects that region.
Don't you think it's affecting? Many people want to do business in the southeast from the southwest, but they are afraid to go to the southeast.
It's still confined within that region. Now let's look at a broader. I'm
Okay.
not saying is matter is not important, but let's have a national picture here.
Okay.
They don't need all of these. They should have, it should have been compacted into just 1, 2, 3, for easy, access and analysis. We are talking about hunger and hardship. Up until now, no fuel, despite the subsidy removal.
Yeah, part of the things they talked about too is
let's single it out.
they are saying the federal government should return the era of the first subsidy era and then make sure that it's corruption free.
Exactly. Then let's focus on this hunger thing. Why? You see, let me go.
Coming to Moji, if you are focusing on hunger, what are the causes of this hunger?
The causes of the hunger and the major cause now, as it stands, I stand to be corrected, is the shutting down of that border, coupled with insecurity of our farmers in the country. Now, let's take it one after the other. The way things are now, we've been shouting, we've been talking. President, open that border. There's not in Egypt back in the day. Egypt was the only country that had. I'm talking about in Bible now. Egypt was the only country that had food to supply to regional nations, including Israel. Israel had to leave its coffer to go look for food in Egypt. So, is there anything wrong in that? If there is a place where we can find food, why are we shutting our borders against such? And people are crying here that they are hungry. The reason why you have this hike in the price of rice and other commodities is because of the shutting down of that border. Now, the people are saying we are hungry, and there is immediate solution to that hunger. And I don't know why we are politicizing this. Why are you politicizing the welfare of the people? Because to me, obviously, is politicking. That up until now, that border is still short, and people are hungry here, and we are still.
One of the reasons the federal government giving was we need to grow our own homegrown products. We can't just allow anything to come into the country.
Thank you. You don't need to do that.
Why?
There are what we call comparative advantage. All you need to do is to monitor and man that border and see what comes in, rather than shutting down the border completely. It's affecting the nation.
Probably the government have tried it and they realized that people responsible for that they're not doing too well. So the best thing for us to do is just to shut the border.
And we are hungry, and the same hunger is what is bringing people on the street now. No, that's insensitive.
Okay, coming about you.
Yeah.
Protest yesterday shut down a lot of commercial activities in Nigeria, and then it's just so sad. Can we afford to continue this protest? Can we afford this protest to go into a day two?
It is in the hands of the federal government. Now, federal government is now talking that we are open to dialogue. I've said it and I'm saying it again. What were they doing for like 2-3 weeks that we've been having feelers of this protest? What were they doing? Some of them were busy, threatening them, telling them, don't come here. I even heard that in Lagos, one woman was saying, don't try it here, don't do this. You don't test the will of the people, especially hungry people. So by now, it is in the hand of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I don't know why he has suddenly gone quiet. People have been saying, come talk. Come and tell us. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. What do you have for us to make people leave the street? Why are you not talking? Why? It doesn't mean the president is overwhelmed. Because initially we were saying, former President Buhari is not the talking type, this, that. But I know you. I know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu very well. Whether in Yoruba, whether in English, is a good speech deliverer.
All right, coming to Moju. Okay, I was on the street yesterday and I could see the anger on the faces of Nigerians, and Nigerians are very angry. As a matter of fact, we had to be cautious yesterday when we were on the streets, and then just so sad. I want to play some of the voices of the people we met on the streets yesterday, and I'm going to be playing this. It's from some certain women. It's in Yoruba, but I want to believe most of our listeners will understand and be able to this morning. Okay, let's listen. After which we'll be going on a very short commercial break, and then we'll return to open the phone lines for you to join the conversation this morning.
Oúnjẹ wọn gbogbo nǹkan ló ti wọ́n Nàìjíríà ará ń náráàlú. A fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó ọrùn ni ó yẹ dá fún gbogbo wa nìkan tá à ń ṣe. Kò sówó kò sóúnjẹ o ebi ń pa aráàlú gidi ẹ ṣàánú ajé o ojú òní tì yín o. Epo tí wọ́n ogbẹ tí wọ́n Nàìjíríà ti sú wa àríṣẹ́ ebi ń pa mẹ̀kúrú bá wa dín gbogbo ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ràn lọ́wọ́ kó ṣe dáadáa ní ìṣòro tí.
The voice of integrity, omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
I will show you. Junior, don't do that.
Sweetheart, no matter what you do, we show you love. So you can show more love to everyone.
Mom, how do you show more love to everyone? I will show you love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
In any emergency, every second counts. The Nigerian Communications Commission brings you the 112 emergency toll-free line, available nationwide, anytime, any day, absolutely free. With just 3 simple digits, 112, help is on the way. Dial from any network at any time. No charges, just immediate response. Remember, the 112 toll-free line directly connects to emergency services. If you need the police, fire service, ambulance services, Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigeria Civil Defense Corps, and more. Because when it comes to saving lives, we're all in this together at NCC. NCC, connecting Nigeria.
Honey, this meal tastes so good and different. Wait, your meals have been extra delicious lately. Even your fries. Is that something you're not telling me?
Well, it is BBMB oil. It has made my meal taste so good. I now enjoy cooking unlike before. Even you, my husband, is now so happy.
BBMV oil?
Yes, BBMV oil is so good, pure and non-sticky that it can be used at home and parties for frying, cooking, baking, and lots more. Guess what? I'm even planning to be a distributor with BBMV oil because they supply in small and large sizes for consumers, retailers, and wholesalers, and there are trucks to move items purchased.
Wow, that is so amazing. BBMV Ventures, located at 36 Old Adioyo Road, Yemetu, Ibadan, and BBMV House, Kilometer 2, New Ikirun Road, beside National Library, Oshogbo. Telephone numbers 0811-581-3819 or 0905-386-5304. BBMV Oil, eat healthy, pay less.
It's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in
every morning with our Peak Protein Breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak. The voice of integrity on omoluwabi 87.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still News Lens right here on omoluwabi 87.7 FM. Before we went on that break, I thought we would open the phone lines for you to join the conversation this morning. The studio lines are open already. 07047 007999. 07047 007999. You can also call us on 08053 888933. 08053 888933. Those are the studio lines to call to be a part of the program this morning. All right. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost our call there. Let's check who is there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Sheriff from Nara.
Okay. Please make your...
Referring to protest yesterday, thank God that we have a free violence demonstration here in your state. So no record of protesters rampage somewhere or loot someone's shops. So I think we need to commend the protesters for their sign of maturity. So our security agency, including our Motekon Corps, started yesterday at Mokola to Songo for handling their job effectively without any chaos. I think we need to commend them as well. So your state government, I think for their proactive steps taken so far till now, give kudos to them. So I think our state government is trying, but to the protest again, please, they should demonstrate it peacefully without violence. But it's very sad, very unfortunate that in the other part of the country, they impose COVID there through the bad behavior of some protesters that they loot the NCC building. It's very bad.
Okay.
I think Mr. President should address the nation now, especially the team youth. We are the ones that are involved in this protest.
All right.
So may God do better. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. Okay, you can join the conversation. The studio lines are still open. All right, let's see this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Zolo Adambola. I'm calling from Ojo.
All right, please make your point.
Yeah, thank you. As regards to yesterday protest, in my area here in Ojo, it went well. Even at some point, I had to go out to check the area. Some business owners even came out doing their businesses the normal way, and it is so beautiful that in Oyo State, no chaos. It was not hijacked. Even when we went to Mokola, we saw people protesting, and I saw ammo tanks. Now it shows that the government here in Oyo State is really taking our security seriously. But it's so sad that in some part of the country, it was hijacked. Some people were killed, some were injured. Some businesses were looted and all that. I just hope and I wish that Mr. President will come out to address us at this time. The way this thing is going in the north is really not what we bargained for. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Ruth from Malakia.
Okay, please make your points.
Thank you. On the protest that took place in yesterday, I think it was a peaceful one, unlike other states that we are getting violence. So which wouldn't have happened if our governments here have not empowered the security agencies, which aided the way they discharged their duties yesterday. Because from my area here, Alakia to Iworu, it was so peaceful. We urge the protesters to be safe and focus on their message to the end of the protest. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, this is Anthony from Ibadan.
All right, please, Mr. Anthony, make your point.
This protest, as was announced before this time, and the reason why they are giving the government time is for the government to do the needful. If probably the government was serious with this, the announcement that there will be protest against bad governance, and they started doing the needful, perhaps this protest will not come up. And moreover, this protest, the way it's going, shows that even the organizer doesn't want to put the country into fire. So they just want to create awareness to the government that, look, people are suffering. The hardship is too much. It's like when we are silent, we have patience, those leaders they just take us for granted, and they continue to live in the affluent life regardless of the pains and suffering of the masses. So this protest, I just appeal that they should turn violence. Let them apply wisdom. Those who will come out to protest, have wisdom. Let them shun violence. But impact has been made already. So I think the government should stay down. The people calling for the president to come and talk to them, talk to the nation. What is he going to talk? What is he going to talk?
Right.
The governors of the state have already been appealing to the people of their state. So I think they should the protesters should apply wisdom this time around.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony.
Take peace in the country. Thank you.
All right. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. This is the voice of Uzo John Njoku. Those are my name.
All right, Mr. John,
yes,
welcome to the
program. Let me say, I monitored the activities in Ibadan yesterday, and I'm very happy. Delighted to see the conduct of the protesters from UI down to Dubai, and I saw policemen performing their duty efficiently. And the protesters conducted themselves in a civilized manner. I even saw one of the lecturers addressing crowds at Mokola Roundabout. I was delighted everything went well. Let me say this, that I'm not surprised by what happened in the northern part of the country, Borno, Kaduna, and others where there was violence. We saw it coming, I saw it. I knew it would be like that. And let me say this, even there would have been protest during the 8 years rule of Muhammadu Buhari, things were equally bad. But because the man had a lot of court members in the north, they were able to survive the heat. Not this time around, things will definitely change. We saw it coming that the hardship was becoming unbearable. And that's why we have been saying that the government must take action to ensure that they reduce the suffering in the land. So I'm not surprised. So if we are blaming police, I will not blame the Nigerian police force in that part of the country, except those who have not lived there. If you live there, you know that when things get out of hand, there's nothing the police there can do. The federal government should have taken action to reduce the suffering in the land. It is now, which is now saying that the federal government is ready to dialogue. Here was a man that was initially posted. I'm John Uzo Njoku. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Uzo. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Nayam. I'm calling from Odejari.
All right, please make your point.
As regards the protest, I believe that the failure of the federal government prompted many Nigerians to coming out in mass to fight for our rights. And I will only applaud the protesters to deviate from any form of violence. They shouldn't vandalize government property because government property is our property. And also here in Oyo State yesterday, just like the last caller said, there was no form of casualty. So I'd like to give kudos to the protesters and to all the security agencies. So I will employ the duo to maintain peace throughout the protest.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's pick this last call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Prince Wumi Adefuse calling from Apata.
All right, Prince Wumi Adefuse, please make your points.
Yes, during the protest yesterday, the state was peaceful and they set the pace with all your state. They set the pace, and we urge them to continue setting the pace, keeping the flag of peaceful protest higher and higher. Because it was not so in the other states, and I commend the state government and the security agencies for making sure that lives and properties of the citizens are being ensured yesterday. Good morning.
Good morning, very much. Good morning to you, Prince Wumi Adefuse, for being a part of the program. Okay, this morning we won't be able to take any call again. We need to go on the program. But then before we leave the program, I would love to take the comments we have on Facebook this morning. We have some people drop their comment on Facebook this morning, and I promise I'm going to read their comment this morning. All right, while I'm still loading. Okay, Comrade Emoji, your parting shot on the program this morning.
To the government, adopt the concept of live and let's live. Enough of you in your circle enjoying, the largesse of life, and people on the street are suffering. Live and let's live.
All right, Comrade Emoji saying to the government, live and let's live. All right, let's check some of the comments we have on Facebook this morning. Just trying to get my hands on some of those comments. Seems not coming up yet. Okay, we can see some students of it saying good morning, and then we have this one saying, okay, I think some of them are coming up already. Yeah, trying to get some of these comments, but then it seems the internet is not doing well this morning. I want to read some of the comments this morning. Okay. Okay, we need to go on the program this morning. Sincerely appreciate everyone for being a part of the program this morning. Until next time when we meet on the program, my name is Oluwataya Ajiwole. Up next on omoluwabi 7.7 FM, this sports rave with Jonathan Ibileke. Right after Kakakiro, will be coming on board. And then do not forget tomorrow, join Stephen Adeligba on the program to discuss right here on this dial from the hours of 9 to 10 p.m. on this dial 7.7 FM, the voice of integrity. Until then, my name is Oluwataya Ajiwole. I urge you to enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.